So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today's video is going to be very stripped down and basic. Not really. I'm more focused on kind of the message and like getting it out there than worrying about if the video is like pretty. So the topic of this video, the title should be something like Rediscovery or Rediscovering Myself. And it's kind of about that. It's about moving forward into this next chapter of my life and how I'm going to be changing and how I'm kind of letting things go from my past that I've been holding on to for a long time. Obviously, if you've been on the channel for a while, you guys will know that my struggle with depression, suicide, things like that. And, you know, for probably the last year or so, I've really been struggling with the fact that I'm not broken like that anymore. By all means, you know, I probably am still clinically depressed, but I don't feel that way anymore. I don't choose to continue to feel like I'm worthless and make myself feel bad and do things to hold myself back from progress. You know, I've talked to you guys about how I've definitely self-sabotaged myself in the past, and that's been one of the hugest things that I've been fighting with, is that I know that I've known that I'm better, but I kept saying, this is who you are, this is all you've ever really remembered being, is a broken kid. And so that's been a huge struggle with trying to get to the point where I can say, I am not broken anymore. I am healed. Obviously not fully, but I'm in a good spot and I'm ready to move on from that part of my life. And that's been a huge relief the last couple weeks. You know, in the heat of the moment, whenever I was battling that, kind of having that final battle with that thought, I tried to make a video, but it just wasn't, I wasn't really able to formulate my thoughts in a good way, which, if you've seen my channel, I ramble a lot, so I can't do that anyways, but, you know, it was just a thing that I wanted to talk about, but it wasn't right. It wasn't the right time. So that's kind of what this series, the Who Am I kind of series, is going to be all about, is me trying to rediscover myself and who I'm planning to be and who I'm going to end up becoming. Because for the longest period of time, I know it might be a cliche thing to say, but like, I genuinely did not think I would make it to 18. And the fact that I am 20, about to be 21, you know, I've been just kind of spinning the wheels until I kind of recently, you know, this year decided, hey, I'm going to be a professional wrestler. That is my dream. That is the thing that my heart is pulling me to. And so not only is that a big thing about this whole change and this whole next chapter of my life, there's a couple other things, you know. It's funny because, you know, I'm only 20, and I remember back to when I was a kid. You know, my parents were very lenient with my use of the computer and being on the internet and things like that. But there would be kids in the neighborhood whose parents would restrict them to only a couple hours a day they could be on the internet, and they could only play these and these games, but not those games. And they would encourage them to go outside and play and get new hobbies, read books, play sports. And it's so funny because nowadays I'm very much, I relate more to those parents than I do my childhood self. Because as I've grown up and as I've matured, I'm discovering that privacy is becoming more and more important to me, and my free time is becoming more and more important to me, but I've been so stuck in my old ways and how I grew up, not a fault to my parents, but more on me and my choices. It's just been a big struggle for me to think, how do I get to that? So I'm doing research for a video kind of about this specific topic that will hopefully come out in the future. But just me, my personal experience. Over the last 28 days, I kind of was looking at the data that my phone just keeps for me. And so in the last 28 days, the average times I have unlocked my phone is about 64 a day. And there was one day in there where I unlocked my phone 108 times in a single day. And the last year I've really kind of cut back on different social medias. I didn't have Facebook for like a while now. I got rid of my Twitter this year, and I've really restricted myself to just Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit are kind of like my main three. And the way I'm kind of used to is that I would be on there and I would constantly get that maybe dopamine fix of there constantly being new things, but on those platforms I've also unsubscribed and unfollowed people that don't give me any value. And so there's less and less people posting, and there's less and less content, so every time I go in there I expect something new, and I go through all the new stuff, and then it's done for the rest of the day or most of the day. And so it's like you get frustrated because you're switching between each app and you're like, I need something new, but I could just go outside, or I can do research on bigger videos like the one I mentioned, or I can go learn a new hobby, or I can go do this. And it's been a struggle because I'm so used to being an inside and a technology person, but that's what I want. I want to be less connected. I don't want to be online all the time. I don't want to put a lot of information out online, especially with being a wrestler. If I somehow get the big break and I go to one of the bigger companies, I'll have a lot of eyes on me, and my privacy is going to become less and less secure. And so it's like I want to kind of get ahead of it and make sure all my privacy is super private, and doing my best to make sure that it doesn't become a problem in the future. Then kind of to wrap it up, the final real big thing I'm discovering about myself and trying to be more open with and be more active, proactive with it, is that I noticed, not only just here on YouTube, but on my social media in general, I treat myself very serious for some reason, which if you've met me in person or you know me in person, I'm not that serious. I constantly make jokes, or I'm doing impressions, and I'm just trying to have fun, and I'm not so uptight. But for some reason, on YouTube and everything, I am. Maybe it's just because I want it to be understood, and maybe some of the messages, obviously you have to do seriously, but I don't have to be serious all the time. I kind of let that out in some ways with Nerfed, which was a gaming channel I did with a couple friends, and I let that out a little bit, but on my own stuff, I never really let that out, except for I think I can think of one video on my channel right now. I think it's called What's Wrong With Me, where I do a Dollar Shave Club gag, and so it's why am I not being myself? I called myself out on it during Stripped and Vulnerable, of me kind of being trying to take inspiration from people, but instead of making inspired work, I was trying to copy their work. And so now I'm kind of not only with creating content, but like my life in general, I'm stripping myself down to kind of the bares, and I'm rebuilding. And so that's kind of what I'm going to be doing and everything. If you guys enjoyed the video, let me know. If you guys have any thoughts, comments, maybe you're going through something similar yourself, drop it in the comments. I try my best to make my comment section a community and try and, constantly talk to you guys. So, leave any thoughts or feedback down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.